everyone, welcome again to Hustle Habits. The name is Ukhomotso Wagaptelezi or Sogwaliso Ngangelelo Pungasha Mashenga Mahle. We're coming to you from Durban, as always, South Africa. And today we are exploring, well, I've been thinking actually that as female entrepreneurs, we seem to be flirting with entrepreneurship rather than being married to it. And before you kill me, I just want you to hear me out because I did not want to sort of come through just with my opinions, because that's what I'm seeing, that around me and around a lot of entrepreneurs, men or male entrepreneurs seem to be the ones that are stronger and that are dominating in the entrepreneurial space. So I thought, you know what, let me just do a little bit of my research and actually see, am I going crazy or are these actually facts? So I was reading an article by a lady named Issa Watson, and she wrote this article on the 25th of February of 2019. She's a founder and a business owner, and on her article she says that only about 13% globally, 13% of businesses are owned by females. Now I thought, okay, maybe she's exaggerating. So I thought, okay, let's see what other people have to say. And then I read an article on spglobal.com, and they say that there are more male CEOs named John than there are female CEOs put together. They also say that for every 20 CEOs, only one is female. I guess you're thinking, right? It does. It's shocking. All right, so let's take a so these statistics that I'm telling you about are on a global scale. Let's take a look into what's happening in South Africa. There's an article that was written in disruptors.co.za, and they say in South Africa only 18.8% of all small to medium enterprises are owned by women. SMME South Africa published an article on the 15th of August of 2017 where they said back then more than half of South Africa's population is female, but only 31% of entrepreneurs as a whole are female. And we flirt with entrepreneurship. And the reason why I say we flirt with entrepreneurship, I mean, I'm just going to give you a typical example of myself. When I started working, I felt that, you know what, after a couple of years, that I did not fit in. Corporate South Africa just did not have a space for me, right? So I went and I packed my bags and I left and I went to Cape Town, chasing a dream in the media space, and I was happy. But then, due to unfortunate events, I then had to stop working in that space as well. And through that whole ordeal, I realized that I actually had to pursue becoming an entrepreneur because I just needed to be independent, do my own thing. But because I had been working for such a long time, the transition from an employee to being an employer was very, very difficult for me. And every single time I found difficulties along my journey of being an entrepreneur, at the back of my mind, going back to work was always an option. And I'm not the only one. A lot of female entrepreneurs actually struggle with that. Not only just female entrepreneurs as a whole, but I think that more female entrepreneurs are drawn to that more than our male counterparts. So going back to work is always an option, and it shouldn't be, because if going to work is plan B, it always weighs heavy on you. Because even when you do fail, instead of failing forward, you actually fail backwards, because going back to work is an option. So I want to say that we need to get out of that mentality. We need to marry entrepreneurship. Not only that, guys, you must understand something, that the world of work is changing, and it's going to change forever. All right? Working is going to be performance-based. So you're going to be remunerated according to how much you do. You get what I'm saying? So it's either you're going to go and be an entrepreneur, or you're going to earn less and less with whatever occupation that you're currently in. And it's better for us as females to go into entrepreneurship while it's still a choice, rather than being forced to. So I want to urge all female entrepreneurs at this point in time, if you are an entrepreneur, marry it. If you're thinking about going into entrepreneurship, just do it. It doesn't matter if you fail, but you're going to learn. And once you learn, you're going to get better. Practice makes perfect. And there is no perfect timing to be an entrepreneur. I was in a Zoom call last week, and the facilitator on that Zoom call said that all the problems that we're facing at the moment with the current crisis, the answers that we're looking for are with entrepreneurs. Small to medium enterprises are going to blossom. Why? Because they don't sleep. Where there are problems, they look for solutions. Unlike big conglomerates and corporations, they're able to make decisions and implement immediately. There is no bureaucracy. There is no red tape. If an entrepreneur wants to change a strategy that they've been following, they decide and they just do it. The soil is fertile. Stop thinking about entrepreneurship. Do it. And just to add some meat into this, it is our duty to ensure that we start building legacies. Another article that I read said that 65% of all small to medium enterprises are run by women. But women are only active in the startup phase. Only about 19% of them are active. So we can run businesses successfully, but we don't start businesses. We have to change that narrative. We need to ensure that we're building legacies, that when our children study, when our children grow up, they grow up and they know for sure that they're going and they're going to be contributing into businesses that are started by us. I know that was a little bit heavy, but it's a reality and we have to face it. I mean, I'm not perfect as an entrepreneur either. And entrepreneurship is not about perfection. Entrepreneurship, actually, for me, is about failing and failing and failing. I only have to make it once. And when I do, it's going to blow up. So I want you to please take up the courage. We're here as other female entrepreneurs, as other women, and we're rooting for you. I was speaking to a friend of mine who says, I'm my sister's keeper. So when she does well, I shout it out to the world. And as women, we need to start doing that as well. And another interesting thing that I came across as I was doing my research was that women actually lack confidence. And I mean, it makes sense to me. If you think about it, a lot of the time when we grow up, we become young adults, as women, we're always pursued. We never have to be rejected. We're the ones that are doing the rejection. And in entrepreneurship, you are going to be rejected. So you better just accept it, that this is the route. There's a lady who said that she got 367 no's before she got 4 or 5 yeses. So that just shows you that you will be rejected as an entrepreneur, but that does not mean that you need to stop. That does not mean that there's something wrong with you just because you're rejected. When you get a rejection, you must know that it brings you closer to your yes. And not everybody is going to like your idea. Not everybody is going to want to be part of whatever business opportunity that you're presenting, and that's okay. But your market is there. As long as you know what you're doing, your market is there. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to learn. You best believe you're going to learn. So I just want to encourage young women, black women. Oh, and another interesting stat. Do you know that only 16% of all female-owned businesses are owned by black women? I guys know. We cannot be lagging behind. As a black female hustler, I'm saying that we need to change this narrative. We need to change how things are. And it begins with us. Start those businesses. Don't be afraid. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. The name is Ukomoto Wagabtelezi. We are on Hustle Habits. Please do not forget to subscribe. We're coming straight to you from Durban, South Africa. And we're very, very, very excited that we get the opportunity to sit down and speak to you about entrepreneurship. Don't forget to subscribe. Hustle Habits. Thank you very much. Peace.